Welcome to the Dansports.tips MLB Daily Fantasy Show for today, Friday the 10th of June. I'm going to be looking at everything you need for your daily fantasy baseball games on DraftKings today. I'm going to start looking at pitchers, stacks of the day, how we can build our lineups to ensure maximum point scoring potential, our foundation players that should be used as the foundations of a solid winning lineup, and value plays at each position as well. Looking at the pitchers today, it's a pitching rich day. There is a lot of solid options. It is also a Coors Field day today, and you're not going to be able to do both if you want top end, so it's a case of picking your poison. Clayton Kershaw's up for the Dodgers today. He's 13,900. You have to start by mentioning the best pitcher drawing oxygen on the face of this planet at the moment. Kershaw is matchup proof, though the only warning you have going into this game, in 2 performances over 15 innings against the Giants this year, he's not managed more than 6 strikeouts. That is not going to represent strong value for the price if he repeats those performances in today's game. Stephen Wright of the Boston Red Sox for 12,200. The knuckleballer has been excellent, particularly on the road where he's won 3 complete games in a row. As you would expect, the strikeouts aren't as high for the knuckleballer, but he does get a nice matchup with the Twins on the road, who overall haven't hit that well despite a recent spike in run scoring, and they do strike out a lot. Marco Estrada of the Toronto Blue Jays, he's 10,700. Obviously nearly threw the no-hitter against the Red Sox in the last start. He is a below average strikeout pitcher, but the Orioles are certainly capable of racking up the strikeouts. Estrada had poor control in his only other start against the Orioles this year, which limited him to only 5 innings, although 1 run and 10 base runners were all he gave up, but he did get 9 strikeouts in that game. With better control and a deeper run in this game, there's a very high ceiling for Estrada today. Lance McCullers of the Houston Astros, he's 10,300. He's usable against the Rays in a nice park. The Rays do strike out. He went 7 innings in his last start. You'll be hoping for that again rather than the 5 that he managed the 2 starts prior to that one, but he does have at least 7 strikeouts in each of his last 3 starts. And on the other side of that matchup is Matt Andriese of the Tampa Bay Rays for 8,700. He's not an elite strikeout pitcher. He's got 74 in 105 innings for his career. You will need to pay down somewhere if you want to get involved at calls, and a pitcher at home in a pitcher's ballpark against the team that strikeouts the most in MLB in the Astros is possibly a good place to start. Matt Harvey of the New York Mets, he's 8,300. Now, we know this has potential to go wrong against the Brewers lineup that can hit, and it is a hitter's ballpark, but Harvey has been pretty good the last twice, so maybe the Dark Knight has figured things out and got himself back on track this season. If that is the case, you now have a pitcher that's got over a strikeout an inning for his career against the strikeout-happy Brewers, and it's actually a nice matchup, and it will let you get involved in calls because he's cheap at 8,300. CC Sabathia of the New York Yankees, he's 8,200. Sabathia has had some issues with control this year, but he has also pitched himself out of some trouble. At 35 years old, he's no longer a dominant Cy Young contender like years gone by, and his strikeouts aren't there, but Detroit do rank top 10 in the league for strikeouts, and CC could give you 7 innings with 6 or 7 strikeouts here, which will allow you to get involved in calls if that's the way you want to play today. For stacks of the day, as it is a calls day, it does seem the obvious place to start. For the Rockies, Charlie Blackmon in the outfield for 5,300. He's got a home run off of Andrew Cashner, today's pitcher for San Diego, a 302 batting average, 6 home runs on the year, and enjoys the platoon advantage. Third baseman Nolan Arenado's in play anytime it's at calls, and probably in any park, to be honest. He is expensive at 5,600, but he's 296 with 18 home runs on the year. And also in the outfield, Gerardo Parra, he's 4,400, hits from the right side of the platoon, 266, 5 homers and 6 steals on the year. My personal preference is to fade the Padres. John Gray, who's pitching for Colorado today, has only allowed 2 runs in each of his last 3 starts, I think it is, at calls. So his last 2 starts against Cincinnati and the Mets. The Padres are worse offensively than them, though if you do want to get involved with the Padres, I can suggest Will Myers, Matt Kemp, Yangervis Solarte, and Melvin Upton all as possibilities. The Chicago White Sox against Ian Kennedy is a sneakier stack today. It's a nice park to hit in the cell with decent forecast conditions. First baseman Jose Abreu for 3,600. He's the former AL Rookie of the Year, only hitting 252, 7 homers, but he has got potential for power. Third baseman Todd Frazier for 4,000 is only hitting 213 this year, but he does have 19 home runs, and Kennedy is a bit of a fly ball pitcher, has had some home run issues in the past. And switch hitting outfielder Melky Cabrera for 2,900. He does have a home run off of Ian Kennedy, 292 average, 4 home runs this year. The New York Yankees draw Mike Pelfrey at home today. Pelfrey's shortest start this season was his opening game of the year against the Yankees, with 6 runs allowed. Only 2 of those were earned, though. He does sport a really high whip, and the Yankees can throw out a lot of players at the top of the lineup that will hit left-handed. Outfielder Jacoby Ellsbury for 4,900, 292, 3 homers. He's got 12 steals this year and enjoys the platoon advantage. Immediately following him is Brett Gardner for 4,600. He's hitting 261 with 5 homers and also has 11 steals this year. Outfielder Carlos Beltran, the switch hitter, is 5,100. He's hitting 282 with 16 home runs, been on fire lately. Catcher Brian McCann for 4,100 is another player who'll hit from the right side of the platoon, 225, 8 homers on the year. And Alex Rodriguez, who qualifies at first and third now, is 3,800. He has a home run off of Mike Pelfrey, 222 with 7 homers on the year. I think we can stack some Pittsburgh Pirates as well against Michael Wacha. Wacha's allowed 4 runs each time he's faced Pittsburgh this year and has been particularly poor of late. First baseman John Jaso from the leadoff spot, 3,500, enjoys the platoon advantage, has a home run off of Wacha, 296 with 3 homers a year. Outfielder Gregory Polanco for 5,300 also has the platoon advantage, 302, 9 homers and 8 steals on the year. Outfielder Andrew McCutcheon is 4,200, another Pirate with a home run off of Michael Wacha. He's 251, 9 homers. Catcher Francisco Cervelli for 3,100 also has a home run off of Wacha and hitting 253 this year. And Starling Marte for 5,000 in the outfield is a 320 hitter with 5 homers this year, but he adds upside with 18 stolen bases on the year. I also think we should probably look at stacking some Cubs somewhere along the line. They get Bud Norris today, who, in reasonable hitting conditions, likes to give up a home run. Outfielder Dexter Fowler for 4,100. The switch hitter is better against right-handers. He hits from the leadoff spot. He's hitting 300 with 7 homers and 6 steals. Switch hitting second baseman Ben Zobrist for 4,200. He's also better against right-handers. 325, 8 homers a year. Second in the lineup will be Jason Hayward for 3,800. Has the platoon in the matchup, 226, 3 homers and 7 steals, and he's playing his former team in the Braves. First baseman Anthony Rizzo has the platoon advantage for 4,800. He's hitting 259 with 13 home runs. He's hitless in 10 at-bats in his career against Norris. I can't see that continuing very long. And third baseman or outfield, whichever's your preference, Chris Bryant for 4,800. He's platoon proof, hits the right-handed pitchers very well, 284, 14 homers on the year. The Arizona Diamondbacks, they draw a lefty and they do have some hitters that hit left-handed pitching very well, and their park's decent for left-handed pull power as well. Catcher Wellington Castillo, 3,700 today. He's got a home run off of Justin Nicolino, 271, 7 home runs and the platoon in the matchup. First baseman Paul Goldschmidt for 5,000 also has the platoon, 270, 11 home runs and 7 steals this year. And outfielder Yasmani Tomas has excellent numbers against left-handed pitching, 3,800 for today, 266, 7 home runs and the platoon advantage. The final stack I'm going to look at get working into some lineups today is the Cleveland Indians. They get Hector Santiago, who has stunk the joint up recently with 18 earned runs in 15 2/3 with 11 walks, though the ballpark in Anaheim will help him out. First baseman Mike Napoli for 4,700. He has a home run off of Santiago, 234, 14 homers this year. Third baseman Juan Uribe, 2,600. He's a 223 hitter with 2 home runs this year. He does have a home run off of Santiago, and let's be honest, when Uribe swings, he swings out of his shoes. If he connects with one, it's going to go a long way. Also qualifying at third base or the outfield, Jose Ramirez for 3,700. He also has a home run off of Santiago. The switch hitter is 306 with 3 home runs, 5 steals this year. And shortstop Francisco Lindor for 4,000. The switch hitter's hitting 302, 6 homers and 10 stolen bases this year. For my foundation players today, at first base, I'm going to start with Big Puppy, David Ortiz of the Boston Red Sox for 5,500. He has crushed right-handed pitching. If they get this game in, because there is some dodgy weather in the forecast, conditions look excellent once the rain's cleared out. He's hitting .338, 16 home runs against a pitcher that has started to allow home runs in recent games. Second baseman Daniel Murphy for the Nationals for 4,900. He's the batting leader in baseball, has a platoon advantage over Jeremy Hellickson, who he has hit out the park previously. 374, 11 homers this year. Third baseman is Matt Carpenter of the St. Louis Cardinals for 5,000. He's a leadoff man. He crushes right-handed pitching from the right side of the platoon. He has 3 home runs in his career off of Gerrit Cole. He's hitting .281 with 9 home runs this year. My shortstop is Francisco Lindor of the Indians for 4,000. He gets to face Hector Santiago, who is in a rut. Switch hitter, hits at the top of the lineup. 302, 6 homers, 10 steals. And in the outfielder, I will take Carlos Beltran of the Yankees for 5,100. Conditions look strong for left-handed hitters in the Bronx today. Beltran is better from that side of the plate, the switch hitter. Mike Pelfrey is not a good pitcher. Beltran has been absolutely on fire recently. 282, 16 home runs. My catcher is Wellington Castillo of the Arizona Diamondbacks for 3,100. Has a home run off of today's starter, Justin Nicolino. He's hitting .271 with 7 home runs. Enjoys the platoon and hits the ball hard off of left-handed starters. My first baseman is Chris Davis of the Baltimore Orioles for 3,400. His only hit off of Marco Estrada did leave the yard. He has struggled with Estrada historically in the past. Estrada did lead MLB in home runs allowed by pitchers 3 years ago. He does appear to be a different pitcher in this day and age. Davis is hitting .220 with 13 home runs on the year, but it's a cheap price for him in a decent ballpark. My second baseman is Jurickson Profar of the Texas Rangers for 3,700. Since the promotion from the minors, he's had at least 1 hit in every game. 389, 2 homers for the switch-hitting leadoff man. He seems to get multiple hits in games as well, and I think he's a solid play at 3,700. My third baseman also qualifies at second. It's Yangervis Solarte of the San Diego Padres. He's 3,600. It gets us some course field exposure at a fairly value price for a player at the top of the Padres lineup. He's 303, 4 homers on the year. My shortstop's Aledmys Diaz of the St. Louis Cardinals for 3,500. Diaz is platoon proof, even though he gets to face Gerrit Cole today, which is not a wonderful matchup by any stretch. 322 with 8 homers on the year. I wouldn't put you off Alcides Escobar of the Royals against Chris Sale in the shortstop value position today either. And my value outfielder is Yasmani Tomas of the Arizona Diamondbacks for 3,800. He boasts a 431 weighted on base average against lefties. Hits the ball hard too. He's 266, 7 home runs this year. That is all I have for you today. Best of luck with your lineups, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to like the video. Hit me up in the comments with the daily fantasy plays you like today and press that subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I will be here all MLB season and through the NFL season with daily fantasy sports advice. If you haven't signed up yet, or you're interested in starting to play daily fantasy sports, please click the link in the description for this video and that'll take you where you need to go to start playing with DraftKings today. Best of luck with your lineups and have a great day.